Falwell has been a champion for religious freedom and a leader in Christian education by founding a great university, Liberty University, and now he's focused again on his first calling, the church he started 40 years ago, and he's written a book about it. So would you please welcome to the 700 Club a dear friend, Jerry Falwell. Jerry, how good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Man, you have done more things. Did you used to be in a gang and terrorize teachers? You did that?
I'm afraid so.
You did?
I only devoted about 2 paragraphs to that.
Well, that caught the eye of somebody who wrote that.
I was born in Lynchburg, about 180 miles from right here. I flew down today. But
well, I was born in Lexington, you know, about 50 miles over the
miles over the
so
hill.
I know how it was growing up in some of those public schools up there.
And it's Brookville High School was my high school, and I was in my second year at Lynchburg College planning to go into journalism.
Yeah.
When hearing Charles E. Fuller on radio, this was a long time ago, 44 years ago, I became a Christian. And 2 months later, that changed everything.
Well, you were quite an athlete, weren't you, in those days? Didn't you?
I played football and baseball in high school, and I played basketball in college.
No kidding.
That was 50 pounds and 50 years ago.
50. It adds to all of us as we go down the road. Well, right after you found the Lord, did God say, okay, you start preaching, or did you go get more education?
Well, I actually made my profession of faith January 20th, 1952, in a little Baptist church there in Lynchburg. I didn't know Baptist from Catholic. I grew up, my father was an agnostic, his father an atheist. I grew up without really, except for my mother, without much spiritual background. And so, hearing Dr. Fuller on radio, I asked a friend, is there a church in town that preaches what this guy Fuller preaches from California? They said, well, there's a Holy Roller Church over on Park Avenue. That's how they refer to this Baptist church, because they preach the gospel. And I went there, and the first night got converted, and 2 months later, March of '52, felt the call to ministry, and headed off to Bible college in the fall, and that was 44 years ago.
Well, you know, I used to listen to Charles Fuller. He was a grand old man, and he had that fellow Rudy who played the piano. Rudy Atwood. You remember? That was a great man of God. And you know, my mother used to listen to you. She lived over in Lexington. She just thought your program was terrific because you started in Thomas Road, and then you were on television early on.
Like when we started in '56, the Thomas Road Baptist Church, and 2 months later, in September '56, I started on television and radio, and I've been on ever since. And it's as you well know more than anybody else, it is the most dynamic thing. This is the old Donald Duck Bottling Company building where our church got started.
No, I'm trying to recognize.
That was 50 pounds ago.
That's 50 pounds. That was you holding the tall guy as you. And who's with you?
That's Evangelist Douglas Wynn. He is. I'm not sure Doug's still living, but we just started in 1956 with that little Donald Duck Bottling Company building that had gone busted. The company had. We cleaned it out, put some seats in it with 35 people, started a church, and I was the only staff member. They paid me $65 a week, no perks, and I provided my own housing, car, and I was glad to do it, you know. And it's and I knocked on 100 doors a day, 6 days a week for several years.
Are you serious? 100 doors a day?
Yeah, you don't have to be very talented. If you knock on enough doors, they'll come to see what motivates that fool. They come out to hear me preach. And on our first anniversary, we had 864, and later began adding staff. But I was committed to personal soul winning. That's been my thing all through the years, and through the years we'd have 22,000 members now at the church, and
that's Mark's Liberty. I mean, Thomas Road is in those days probably the fastest growing church in America, wasn't it? Was anything?
It was for many years, and we have a 67,000 population city, so obviously we have some restrictions on forever and ever growth, but. In other words, we can't do what Young and Joe's done because we only have 67,000 people. But the church...
So essentially you've got one out of every 3 people in the Lynchburg area.
The equivalent there. And then we started Liberty University 25 years ago last fall. And we're starting our 26th year last Wednesday. We have 14,000 enrolled this year.
Resident students?
6,000 residents.
6,000 residents.
8,000 for externals and doctorates.
Extraordinary. And it's a full university now, isn't it?
Full-blown university, and more of our kids go on to Regent for their graduate degrees than any other single school.
We're thrilled to have them, and every time I meet your students, they're such nice people, and they really love the Lord, and they're all over the place, and they're I know you're proud of them.
We have 26,000 alumni now from the resident program in 25 years, and they are in every segment of society.
How many of them have gone into the ministry? How many of them are like pastors or evangelists or missionaries?
1,200 are senior pastors in the USA. A couple thousand more are associate pastors, youth pastors. We have 700 who are missionaries abroad now. And then we have many thousands who are in business and the sciences, the arts, professional athletes, Sid Bream, Lee Guterman, you name it, who are out there doing a thing for the Lord.
That's fabulous, and not to mention the sports program that goes on at Liberties. But Falwell, an autobiography, the Inside Story. Is this available in bookstores? People can get this book?
It won't be available for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just been written. It's at the printers right now.